This is FYN. Happy New Year and welcome to the January drill. My name is Senior Airman Stephen Tucker from the 103rd Public Affairs Office.
And I'm Senior Airman Sasha Feliciano. 2016 was an eventful year here at the 103rd.
Yes, it was, and the last quarter was no exception. In October, the Director and Command Chief Master Sergeant of the Air National Guard visited Bradley.
This gave our airmen a unique opportunity to showcase the work they put in to make the 103rd a premier tactical airlift unit. Let's take a look.
The Director and Command Chief Master Sergeant of the Air National Guard, along with other distinguished Guard leaders, witnessed the results and ongoing efforts of the 103rd Airlift Wing's C-130 conversion during a recent base visit. Lieutenant General L. Scott Rice and Chief Master Sergeant Ron Anderson toured new base facilities and met with airmen from various sections.
All the years of doing self-made buddy care, I didn't know that was that easy.
Lieutenant General Rice said Connecticut has captured the esprit de corps of dedication to service, and that talking with these individual airmen was his favorite part of the visit.
There is nothing better in the world than to be able to hand a coin to somebody. And it's not the fact that we're giving them a coin, but to see that light of fire in their eyes about doing something for somebody else that is just so honorable. It's really what drives me.
Chief Master Sergeant Anderson stressed the importance of airmen taking care of one another during an enlisted town hall at base headquarters.
If you see something that isn't right, it doesn't make sense to you, you have a responsibility to your brothers and sisters to the left and the right. You have a responsibility to me to do something. Saying something is interesting. Doing something changes lives.
Senior Airman Craig Bine of the 103rd Civil Engineer Squadron was coined by Lieutenant General Rice and expressed his appreciation for the base visit.
There's a lot of hard work put into what we're doing here and how it all comes together, and just the leadership coming down and acknowledging that and seeing the hard work the guys are putting in is great.
Reporting from the 103rd Airlift Wing, I'm Senior Airman Stephen Tucker.
Our air crews achieved a Connecticut Air National Guard milestone during the November drill.
The Flying Yankees flew their first four-ship formation with the C-130 Hercules aircraft. Let's take a look back at this historic mission. Air crews from the 103rd Airlift Wing made history in November by flying the unit's first four-ship formation with the C-130 Hercules aircraft. This was part of a local training mission, which included airdrops and proficiency work on landings and low-level flying. 119th Airlift Squadron instructor pilot and mission commander, Major Kevin Eichelberry, said he is honored to be involved in this Connecticut Air National Guard milestone.
Being part of the first for a lot of the Bradley C-130 operations, been really cool every single time to see people that were flying a different airframe and now they're doing all of the C-130 ops. They're landing on dirt, they're dropping the heavy equipment, they're doing all the things tactically that we do in the C-130 world. So it's been really a good experience.
Major Eichelberry also said he is thankful for the critical efforts of maintainers and logistics readiness airmen, work that is key to keeping the aircraft mission ready. Reporting from the 103rd Airlift Wing, I'm Senior Airman Stephen Tucker. One of the aircraft from the four-ship also conducted the flyover at the Connecticut Veterans Parade in Hartford on the same day. Many of our airmen were in attendance.
Airmen of the 103rd Airlift Wing proudly marched through the streets of downtown Hartford, surrounded by the support of their community and fellow service members, Sunday, November 6th, at the 2016 Connecticut Veterans Day Parade. It also marked the day the Flying Yankees performed their first four-aircraft flying formation with the C-130 Hercules. These two celebrations came together as one of our C-130s performed a flyover in honor of past and present veterans. The participation of our flight crews and non-flight personnel were both critical to making the day's events an all-around success.
As you can see, our air crews did some incredible things in 2016. A key to this success is the work of the troops that take care of our aircraft while they're on the ground.
From the maintainers on the flight line to our logistics readiness airmen, many are involved in keeping our C-130s in the air.
Let's take a look at our fuel specialists and learn more about the critical role that they play in the 103rd Airlift Wing's mission. The 103rd Airlift Wing continues to achieve success in its conversion to the C-130 Hercules airlift mission. A key component of the Wing's progress is the diligent effort of the Logistics Readiness Squadron's fuel specialists. These airmen oversee both the jet fuel and liquid oxygen used on the aircraft from the moment it arrives on base to to when they load it into the birds. In addition to overseeing the fueling process, the troops test each delivery to ensure the fuel is free of harmful contaminants. Technical Sergeant Victor McIntyre tells us why fueling a Hercules isn't your typical trip to the pump.
They can hold over 50,000 pounds, which is about 8,000 gallons. We usually don't put that much on, so it depends on their mission how much fuel they need, you know, how much weight they're going to have, what their cargo is, and everything else, and they measure their fuel by pounds so that they have the proper weight when they take off. So we usually go out and put anywhere from, say, 2,000 to 3,000 gallons on at a time. It's an important job. A lot of people just think it's, like working at a gas station, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it than a lot of people think.
By providing this support, the Fuels Airmen of the Connecticut Air National Guard play a critical role in keeping the Flying Yankees in the air. Reporting from the 103rd Airlift Wing, I'm Senior Airman Stephen Tucker. December 7th marked the 75th anniversary of one of the darkest days in our nation's history, the attack on Pearl Harbor.
To this day, service members who lost their lives in the attack are still being identified. In October, one of our air crews had the honor of bringing home a recently identified Navy fireman.
Camera crews from the National Geographic Network were there to capture their return.
Of the 429 men who died on the battleship USS Oklahoma, only 35 were identified in the years immediately following the attack. The rest were buried in graves marked unknown. But almost 75 years later, one of these unknown men was given a name.
My brother's the oldest, so he got the phone call, and he called me and couldn't get words out, couldn't speak, and I knew it was something important, and I thought something happened to somebody. I said, just spit it out, just tell me. And then he said, Uncle Ed's been identified.
There is no statute of limitations on honoring anyone who died for their country. The oil that shrouded Pearl Harbor after the attack became crucial in identifying unknown remains.
The fuel oil has acted as a preservative for the DNA in these bones, and we've been able to get very high quality DNA from these skeletal remains, which has actually worked in our favor. If we have the right family reference samples, we can successfully identify all of the unknowns that we currently have recovered. People often ask, is the unknown soldier a thing of the past? And the answer to that is yes. I think it's important to account for an individual, to bring that individual home and to give them a name. It's one of my moral and ethical imperatives that no one should be buried without a name.
On October 15, 2016, Faye Hopkins Bohr was finally able to lay her uncle to rest in his hometown.
As you have seen, 2016 was an eventful year for the Flying Yankees, but the year ahead is going to be even bigger for the Connecticut Air National Guard.
Members from ACS and Orange deployed late last year, and soon many of our airmen from here at Bradley will be heading out the door to serve in expeditionary roles.
For more on the year ahead, here is Wing Commander Colonel Frank DeTore.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the January UTA. I want to start this morning by wishing everybody a very happy, very healthy 2017. You know, last year was an incredibly successful year for the Flying Yankees. We finally got to reap some of the rewards of all the hard work, all the turbulence, all the temporary facilities that we've been having to endure throughout this conversion. As we finished up significant construction projects for both the ops group building and the main hangar for maintenance. I'm really happy to report The personnel from those organizations are moved in and operating out of those new facilities, and really starting to enjoy the benefits of close to $15 million of work that we put into the buildings they get to report to every day. We also saw significant progress in the fuel cell project as it continues to take shape out there on the flight line. And in fact, just this week, the base received another $6.5 million so that we can start construction on the new small air terminal. I expect to break ground on that project later this spring. So the progress continues here at Bradley, and that's all really good news. The other significant milestone for 2016 was that we formally came out of conversion. That's right, September 30th, 2016, our conversion ended. Now, if you don't happen to work a lot with either readiness reporting or maybe financial lines of accounting with the Guard Bureau, that day may have come and gone without you even noticing, and that's by design. That's okay, because I've held all along that's kind of an arbitrary date on the calendar. It's really driven by the fact that it's exactly 3 years after we started our conversion. It doesn't mean much more than that. And the real litmus test, the real challenge for us in terms of our success in this conversion and transformation for the wing is not a date on the calendar. It's certainly not moving into new buildings or receiving new equipment. It's our ability to deploy to a combat theater, employ with our new equipment while we're there, and then safely bring everybody home. And that's the challenge we face here in 2017. We're already knee-deep in the spin-up for that. In fact, there's already 100 folks from ACS downrange. They'll be joined shortly by our aviation package, and then soon after that by the Expeditionary Combat Support folks that are deploying later this year. All told, the Connecticut Air Guard will have close to 400 folks downrange by late spring, and that's a fantastic achievement. It's also a big deal because, like I said, it's our first test since we've converted to the airlift mission. So my ask for all of you this drill, and really for most of the year this year, is that you put all your energy, all your talent, all that hard work that we've put into this whole conversion and focus it on this deployment. Because nothing for this wing is more critical than success in that. If you are deploying, I wish you good luck, certainly Godspeed. And if you're not deploying, I would ask that you do whatever you can to support those members of the wing that are deploying, because believe me when I tell you, there's nothing this wing's going to do this year or in the near future that's more important than the deployment that we've got coming up. And for all the Flying Yankees and their families out there, from me to you, a very happy and healthy New Year.
Thank you, Colonel DeTore, and thank you all for joining us for this edition of the Flying Yankee News.
Remember, let us know about what's going on in your squadron, and it may be featured in a future broadcast. From the 103rd Public Affairs Office, I'm Senior Airman Sasha Feliciano.
And I'm Senior Airman Stephen Tucker. Have a great drill.